It's about that time. What time? Dinner time. So tonight we're going to be making something that's kind of like a chicken and dumplings, or almost like a chicken pot pie. So if that sounds like something that piques your interest and that you'd like to try, stay tuned and I'll show you how to make it. So let me draw your attention down here to our ingredients. For starters, I have cubed up the chicken to about 1-inch cubes. It's just chicken breast. Now I have a family of 6, and this is approximately 3 large, or the equivalent of 6 regular sized chicken breast chopped up. Then I've got 1 whole small onion, which I have coarsely chopped. You don't want to pulverize it, you just want these little pieces like that. I've got some carrots, which I've chopped up into these tiny little rounds like that. And we have some frozen peas that we're going to be adding. In this container here, I have made chicken broth using the Better Than bouillon. I don't usually have, I don't use granules. I like this stuff better. It has kind of a sweeter flavor, less salty. So if you're wanting something that has more of a salty flavor, you're going to want to go with the granules instead. But this is pretty good. So what I did is we needed 2 cups worth. So I've got 2 cups of hot water here, and I dissolved the Better Than bouillon in it. In this little container over here, we have half of a teaspoon of paprika, which is this one, half a teaspoon of ground thyme over here, and we have 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. Then I've got 1/3 cup measured out of flour. It's not full and it's not packed down. When you do anything with flour, you don't want it packed down. You want it nice and light and airy. So what I did is I took it in the bag and I kind of shook the bag a little bit, and then I got my scoop out. So there's a 1/3 cup right there. The other thing is Homestyle Grains biscuits in a roll. These are just frozen biscuits. You can make your own if you like, but it's a lot faster if you just do this. I was looking for a quick meal tonight, and coincidentally this one's kind of fun because it all goes into one pan, and so we don't have a bunch of stuff. So prep time and everything, we're looking at about 35 to 45 minutes because it goes in the oven for about 25 minutes. Prep time's about 10 minutes. So over here on the stove, currently I have some butter melting because we're going to be adding our chicken, and we're going to be adding, we're going to be adding our carrots to this. So I'm going to turn this up hotter because we want it nice and sizzly. Then we still need to preheat. So we're going to come over here and I'm going to preheat on the baking setting. And it preheats to 375, so I need to push this up to 375 and get that preheating and going. Because as soon as our chicken and everything is done, that's when this is going to all go in here. I'm not changing pots or anything. I'm going to start it in this pot, and then it's going to go cook in the oven in the same pot. So this is getting nice and hot. Our butter's already melted. This is 4 tablespoons of butter, the same as half a stick if you buy the sticks in the 1-pound bricks. That is 4 tablespoons, half of 1 that's in here. That's going to be our oil plus some flavoring. So I'm not going to add any extra salt because our chicken broth over there has salt in it, and our butter is salted butter, and it would be just too much. So I'm going to get my carrots, and I'm going to dump those in here. These are fresh carrots, and so they need to actually cook. My peas are frozen peas, so they don't. So if you wanted to cut down on some cook time, you could also opt to get frozen peas and carrots either together or just some frozen carrots. We're using approximately, I'm going to say this, I don't portion things very well when I do this. I kind of eyeball it like I've said before. So I want to say it's approximately 1 cup of chopped carrots, and it's approximately 1 cup of the frozen peas. But that's just a guess. So you want somewhere around 10 to 12 ounces, if that helps, of the vegetables. So this is going to get kind of hot. The sides on this are going to get hot. Now, if you don't have a pot or anything that has metal ends like this one, you're gonna not want to put it in your oven. You're gonna want to have to transfer this to a different surface to do that. So those are gonna starting to get sizzly. I'm gonna add the chicken in a second. Yay, it's nice and sizzly. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not.
They're moving.
But they're starting to sound yummy. I love the sound of sizzle. Sizzle's good. So yes, they're moving a little bit. That's good. So what this is going to do is it's kind of going to cook them a little bit so they're not so hard. But when we put them in the oven, they're going to cook even more in there anyways. But like I said, these are fresh carrots, and so we don't want these rock hard in our I guess I could just call this chicken and biscuits. It's a creamy sauce, and then we have biscuits that top it. So that's going good. I'm going to go ahead and add, I don't know if I told you how much of an onion this is, but I think I did. It's 1 onion. So I'm going to go ahead and just add it in there as well. You don't have to have any particular kind of onion. Sweet onions, white onions. This one right here is just your regular yellow onion. Red onions would work as well, except I'm not a fan of the flavor for red onions, just for like basic cooking. There's a couple recipes where the red onions taste good, but yeah. So here we go. Doesn't that look good? It's going to start smelling really good in here very soon.
Already does.
It's going to smell so good. I'm excited. It's going to smell so good. They're not cooking fast enough for me though. They need to get cracking here. Let's turn it up to high just to get the ball rolling. So you're going to want to stir them. We're just kind of getting the carrots cooked and sauteing our onions. So it's not going to be but for a couple minutes. You just want to do it just a little bit. It's dinner time in the Room Nap household. We got people playing games waiting for dinner to be done. But this is normal. Alright. When it looks about like that, because it's going to continue to cook, because I'm actually going to add chicken to this. So now that that's actually doing something, we're going to add some chicken. So this was approximately, I think I did 3 chicken breasts, so it's about 6 small ones. They're just chunked, cubed, boneless, skinless. We're just going to put them here in our pan. Okay, now it smells good in here. I can smell that. Yummy. There we go. I'm going to wash off my hands, though. Not a fan of raw chicken. It feels gross. Okay, so now that's going. We're going to stir this all up in here together. See, it's already starting to turn colors right here. It's already starting to turn white. Oops, that fell off. I don't know if you got a chance to see that or not. So the heat's really good because it's cooking it fairly quickly because I didn't want to take forever cooking it. So once we get this all stirred in, there we go. I'm going to add our seasonings. So we're just going to sprinkle these on everything. Just like that. Can you see that? Ooh, yummy. And I'm going to stir it all up so that everything is mixed nicely. Smells really good. There we go. Alright, so now becomes the waiting game, and you're going to probably want to continue to stir this. It'll probably be about, I'm going to say about 5 minutes. You'll know when your chicken is done when all of it is kind of a white color and then the inside no longer pink. At that point, we'll check right back with you. And we're back. It's been about between 2 and 5 minutes. I turned the heat up when we left off and it's taken off and gone and cooked itself. So if you look at it now, our chicken, I hope you can hear me over the sizzle. The chicken is nice and white. It no longer has pink in the middle. So it's ready, ready, ready. So once that happens, I'm going to actually turn this down to about a medium because right now we're just going to want to put the rest of our ingredients in here. So for starters, we're going to add our frozen peas that we had. So it's about a cup of frozen peas. There you go. And we're gonna stir this in here. It's gonna stop sizzling a little bit because they are frozen, so they're pretty cold. I had them sitting out for maybe about 10 minutes. But it's still gonna slow it down just a little bit, but that's okay. That'll take the chill off of those. It'll get everything mixed in, and it'll be flavoring everything with all the spices we put in there. The next thing we're gonna wanna do is we have our chicken broth over here. We're not gonna pour all of it in. You're gonna pour all but maybe about a half a cup. So we're gonna pour all this in, except for a little bit more than that. There you go. About a half a cup is what you're gonna wanna reserve. You're gonna leave that there. Go ahead and stir this all in so that it's nice and coated everything. Looks good to me. There we go. I'm gonna actually turn it up to a medium in a bit. Okay, once we have that, it's gonna continue to sizzle. As you can see, it's starting to do its boiling thing over here. That's good. In the meantime, while that is doing its thing, the stuff that we had reserved, our reserved chicken broth, we're gonna add our 1/3 cup of flour to this mixture. So you're gonna put this together, and you're gonna, oh, I should have used a whisk. You're gonna whisk it or stir it up.
Don't look at the drawer.
I know, right? This is the most horrendous drawer ever. Okay, so I have this really adorable whisk, yes, and this is the only thing I use it for.
Hang on.
Oh, there you go. Little baby whisk, it's
okay.
Super cute. Okay, I'm gonna use that to whisk this all together so it's all mixed up. It's gonna make it look kind of like muddled gravy is what it's gonna do. There we go. So that's what it's gonna look like. Kind of looks like, I don't know, frothy milk, I guess. What this is gonna cause this mixture to thicken up. And you want it to thicken up because you want this to be kind of like a gravy almost. If you don't do this step, this is like one of the most crucial steps for this process. If you don't do that, what you see in the pan right now is how your finished product is gonna end up, and it's gonna be really, really runny, and your biscuits, none of it's gonna turn out right. This is a huge crucial step. So when you get here, I'm gonna use this one. You're gonna wanna pour this in here slowly, little by little, and get it mixed up. The reason that we do it in 2 separate steps like this is if you were to pour your flour right in there, it would be super, super clumpy, and it would not mix in at all. It would be a disaster. So you want to put them separate. If you had forgotten to do that step and you didn't know what else to do, a trick is you can add a little bit of water, cold water, to your flour and do it that way. If you accidentally dumped all of your chicken broth in there, you could just use water instead. So now that we have our mixture all mixed in, I'm going to let it simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes. So we'll check back in after 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so if I could draw your attention down to the oven, right there on the stove top. Okay, as you can see, the mixture has gotten kind of thick and kind of gravy-like substance right here. That is perfect. It's only simmered for about 2 minutes, and this is exactly what the mixture should look like. I'm super happy with what it looks like right now. So what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna top this. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off because we don't need the stove top anymore because we're gonna be putting this whole thing into my oven. You're gonna take your biscuits. You're gonna put your biscuits, let's put one, oh, I'm not doing that yet. Let's put the biscuits around this way. They're gonna expand just a little. So you're gonna wanna spread them out just a little bit like that. I think I have enough to put
one around, you need one here and one here.
I was thinking to maybe put one like this and put these in the middle. So theoretically you can put the biscuits wherever you want, just kind of space them out. They are going to puff up a bit. So once your biscuits are on there, a trick I like to do, it makes your biscuits really nice and brown when they're in the oven. You take some butter, just melted butter, and you're going to brush the tops of it. It doesn't look like it's going to do anything right now, but trust me, it's going to make them have a really nice golden brown color. It's going to be really pretty, and it might be a little bit shiny. So it's just an added touch you can do to your biscuits. There we go. A couple more biscuits. I think I did it just right. This was about 1 tablespoon of melted butter for a total of the 8 biscuits. All right, looks good. I'm gonna get another one of these. Okay, so now this has been preheated to the 375. I'm gonna take this off the table or the stovetop. That's what it looks like. It's going right in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. So in 25 to 30 minutes, folks, we'll see what it looks like. See you then. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. Let's check it out. All right, just be careful because it's really hot. Ooh, look at that. There we go. This is our chicken. Kind of pot pie, chicken and biscuits, all in one. Look at that. Biscuits are nice and golden crisp. And you can see in there it's really nice and good. This is perfect. It's runny, but it's not too runny. This is absolutely perfect. Now you could add something else to this, like you could make a green salad or something else, but the beauty of this meal right here is it's all in one and it is done. 35 minutes and you can have dinner. So, hope this was helpful. Chicken, biscuits, dinner all in one. I hope you like it, guys. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Do me a favor, leave any comments down below. If there's any meals that you'd like to see prepared, if you have any food questions, I could try to help and answer those. So, yeah, it's time to eat. My family's ready. That's what's for dinner. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial on how to make it. So until next time, guys, take care. Bye.